Now, for the eye itself, there's a light in there. In fact, if I was just to bring that just a little bit further along like that, I can put this in. There's a highlight in the eye which is just there, so make sure you put it in with the white. All right, got it? And now the 270. I'm just hoping this is. I might have to sharpen this, but I think I've got it. You're going to be very surprised about this when I finish it. Okay, so we've got all the important bits there. We've got the light in the eye, still got the pupil to sort out. We've got this in, that works okay. But what we can do now is just fill just a little bit more of depth there. It kind of comes across here and then it just drops like that. Now, before I do the pupil itself and the eye itself, I'm going to have a go at this. But to do it, I'm going to have to break off a minute, and I think this can be all 270, like that. That can stretch down like that, and then with the, so I'll use this one because I don't want to spoil the point of the other one. We can bring this up. These indicator marks, I'll show you. These marks here, that's as far as we want to go with the light, right? So we can come up and meet that with the brown grey 229. There could be another way of doing this, but I usually like to try to play safe if I can. Now that comes down, that starts to infiltrate into that. Do it ever so slowly. This is sort of a thing I'm talking about, like that. Okay, and that continues up there, like that. And I'm just debating whether I should continue down here as well. Perhaps I will. If you followed me before with other pictures I've done, I always say to you, I want to put the framework of the eye in before I put the eye in. Well, so I'm following the same rule, really. There's a little bit of light as well in here. Just a bit of white as well. Like that. I'll have to come back to the pointed one now. And that comes down like that. And same as that idea, but there's more light in it. And then that will swing round, and then we should end up with it meeting up with that. But this is still very light. It's not dark until it gets to about there, and then we can fill it in. Like that. And then we've got a lot more to do, but let's come back into the eye because that's the important bit now. Now, as we've only got 4 colours basically, we've got to use them cleverly. Now, there's a lot of this dark there, which I can put a bit of black on, and that starts to, same idea as this. You've got some and some. Like that, and just there, it's a bit darker, and that dark spreads like that to there. And we'd be putting some white back in, as I showed you up there in a minute. Now, very, very lightly, put just a little bit of colour on it, just a touch like that on there, and then use your colour shaper. I've got another one here. You may not have all these, well, don't worry, you could use the grey one, but I tend to reach for the ivory if I've got a soft and plenty of base colour underneath. That's what I'm looking for. And that comes up from there a little bit, just a bit more depth. That's going to have black on it eventually. Good. Okay, well that's the easy bit. Now the hard bit. I'm going to use this on top of the 270 very, very lightly. I just want to put just a smidging in. I can't even tell you how light my pressure is on that pencil. But you can see what it can do if you press hard. And it can go all over there because we can put light back into it. Like that. We've got to have enough contrast between here and here. So keep going until you get what I've got there. Bearing in mind that we can add more light. And back to that one I was using. And this will blend. Now because we put a 270 under there, we'll be able to blend it easily into it and get that lovely smooth look to it. Okay. Well, so far so good. You see why I was concerned about that black there. But there is, right in the middle of that, a pupil. And it's most peculiar. What I've got to do is to try to get... Let me just show you the picture for a minute and you can see what I'm trying to do here. See, I'm trying to do that. Got it? Right. So it's going to be dark here, but I want to leave just a smidgen of light on that side. And again, this is going to have black on it. And for some reason, there's another one there. Like I say, I don't understand it. I don't try to work these things out. I just follow what I see. And that's generally my rule of thumb. If I see it, I do it. I'm still maintaining that light if I can. And there's also just a little bit of depth, a little bit more depth around there, which we can come back in with the colour shaper. That's the one I was concerned with, but I've managed it. Now there's some light in it as well. Now I've got to decide whether I use the white or I think I will. There's a little bit of light here. And there. And if I can do it, a little bit of light there. Now that is a fine, because it's got to have the dark on it. Well, it looks good, doesn't it? That's just, I want to make sure that that light there, I'm cheating a little bit because I'm increasing the size of that from what I can see. It looks good though, doesn't it? Now I've got to do the same with the black. I might have enough. I might have enough point to do this. It'd be nice if I could get it all done. I'm going back over the areas that I used the 229, the brown grey on, but this time a little bit more strength. This is very hard, but it's very rewarding if you can pull it off. Now we can bring down some of the black now to strengthen this area. So I'm going to try, if I can, to finish this off so that you get a really good idea. In fact, if I move this, just come down a little bit further. I've got an area there. I'm undecided whether I'm going to leave it light or whether I'm going to just fill it in. I'll make my mind up. I just want to. It will make the eye a bit more impressive if I can do this around. Now the black. If you're wondering why my blacks suddenly appear short and long, it's because I've got two of them. Look, they're exactly the same, but I just happen to have two. That leaves one with a point and one that isn't. And I'm going to leave that for a little while. I think I'll use the colour shaper here. And of course, just before I leave you, that's a little back to the 229. Once again, by doing this, it just gives it the eye a better impression. I'm going to pull back in a minute so you can see that a bit better. And then we're dark again there. And up there and so on, but I can fill that in a moment. Let's just get this back. Okay. I should probably do just a little bit more to this, but I wanted to present it to you. Just on the very edge of this, just here, is chalk and cheese. Right? dark light, what we want to do is to bring some of the colour from there, the darker colour, onto that section of the eyelid. Now, this is a small thing to do, but it does look really good if you can do that. So now there we are, just that little bit better. Anyway, I'll pull back and have a look at it, but I think to all intents and purposes I've finished the eye there.